Hello and welcome back, everybody. J-Man back for another music reaction. It is my Saturday. Hope you're all doing well out there, whatever day of the week it is for you. So we are going to be continuing our journey through the Nightwish Yesterwynde album, and we're going to do The Day Of. So I think this is about song number 7, if I'm not mistaken, from the album. I'm definitely enjoying the album so far. I've mentioned it in some of my previous reactions that I feel like Thomas has definitely turned a corner with Human Nature and Yesterwynde. He's kind of taken a different path in terms of his musical composition, and I'm here for it. I definitely enjoy it. There are a couple of little things. My one main complaint would be that some of the songs kind of put Floor in a little bit of a box, but hey, it's okay. I'm here for whatever Tuomas is here for. I'm all about it. I can't wait to get through this whole album so I can listen to the entire album from start to finish as Tuomas intended it. But yeah, let's go ahead. Let's dive on in. Let me get my headphones on. And let's see what Tuomas is talking about this time. So here we go. Nightwish, The Day Of. Let's get it.
Has now been discovered. You may be infected by mundane groceries.
In an unprecedented turn of events, astronomers have recalculated the flight
Several
path
people
of
have been evacuated from the site, but approximately
Okay.
Take shelter, skies are homing, Armageddon, second coming, war of the worlds, the end of history. Take shelter, floods are rising, the wrath of thunder is drumming, end of days for mankind and for your kin. Fill those empty moments, fear more, in this grave new world of 84, fast that last breath, AI to kill us all. Horse waste, covering London, Martians among us, Y2K, horde all aboard, the end is near. Too late, gather up, it's the day of. Same old story, cower before a caliphate glory. The big creed of today will gallow you, keep you small. Here's a million ropes for the hangman, nightmare cavalcade for the sandman. Mind virus, fear of the well-known, keep us safe.
Okay, I know I'm stopping mid verse here, but I should have stopped back at the end of the chorus. We'll back it up a couple of good smidges here and try to get back to the beginning of the verse. But I see that it is only 4:45, which is on the short side for a Nightwish song. But this song is very reminiscent to me of the what is the song from Human Nature? I'm blanking on it. But it was the one where the person was in the bathtub of oil and all of that stuff. I feel like Tuomas has a very a good social consciousness. He's very aware of things that are going on in the world and likes to write about and compose music that addresses these things where he feels like maybe society is going a little astray. And I feel like that's what this is. I'm not completely sure what is going on with the eye drops. I would imagine it's got something to do with opening your eyes to what's going on, what's on the screen in front of these people, things like that. Maybe our eyes have been clouded over and these eye drops are like opening our eyes for the first time on the things that are going on in the world. I wrote down there was a couple of things that flashed on the screen: AI, Y2K, virus. I definitely I understand some people's um, apprehensions about AI. Personally, I so far, and I'm not talking about the potential downsides for AI here. I'm just talking about what AI currently is and what it's currently doing for us. I absolutely love AI. Um, I am I'm an Android user. I'm actually a big. I'm sunken into the Google stratosphere or whatever, and I have like the higher level Google plan so that I get YouTube with no commercials and all of that stuff. And as a part of that, I'm a part of Google One. I get their higher level AI. AI actually saved my butt earlier this week, just as a minor aside, and we'll get back to the video. Um, our car, the battery died. It's a Cadillac SRX 2015. And the battery died. We had to have AAA come out, replace the battery. Well, once they replaced the battery, the power was there, but the car wouldn't start. And even the mechanic that came to replace the battery, he couldn't figure out. It's like you push the button and just nothing would happen. So I used Gemini and said, just replace the battery in my 2015 Cadillac SRX and it won't start. And it comes back immediately and says, oh, that can be really frustrating. Here's what's going on. There's a place in the armrest. You have to put your key fob in there to sort of like reset the key fobs. And once I did that, car started right up. So there's a lot of great stuff. I had AI write me a cover letter. I recently got laid off from work, and AI wrote me a really great cover letter based off of my resume and things like that. So there's a lot of good that AI can do. I understand also people's apprehensions about where AI could potentially go. And I've watched some videos of some evil twists of AI and things like that. But still, I think that side of technology, it can be a very good thing for us as long as we keep it in control and keep it in check. Um, there was the Y2K scare, the virus. I think we know what he was talking about there, with the COVID thing, stuff like that. But yeah, very interesting imagery. I've rambled for a long time here. There will be timestamps in the video below for everybody that can skip over me blabbering. If that's not what you're here for, I get it. But Tuomas's writing does this to me. It makes me think a lot. And I love that about his writing. His writing sparks me to think about things and stuff like that. And this song's definitely already doing it clearly. So let's go ahead. We're going to back up 3 or 4 smidges here, and then we'll keep going from there. Probably have to pause one more time just for the bad old YouTube algorithms and all of that. But here we go. Let's back it up, and we'll keep going.
It's the day of same old story, cower before a caliphate glory. The big creed of today will gather you, keep you small. Here's a million ropes for the hangman, nightmare cavalcade for the sandman. Mind virus, fear of the well-known, keep us safe. Too many for more, the drops will burn, so why bother? A new string sends you back into your cave. Stay away, cover up, fear the words, fear
Okay, I missed the right time to pause there again by a little bit, but yeah. So again, I feel like the one thing that I picked up on this last segment is this frequent use in the videos from Yesterwynde of these people on their knees, the like clay statues or whatever they are, or they look like they could almost be made of ash. Um, they look to me like what when I see them, I think of like old pictures that we see of like the Inca or the Mayan people, which we know that they were the ones that I think it was the Mayans that sort of started to understand the movement of the stars and things like that, or charted the stars, something in that realm. So I'm not sure completely. Again, it's a week or two between my video reactions. So I'm not remembering everything. That's where again I feel like some of the imagery and some of the overall themes that Tuomas is playing into are going to make more sense to me when I can sit down and watch the whole album, listen to the whole album, watch all of the videos kind of in a string together, and really get a good grasp on what Tuomas is going for with his imagery and just the overall overlying theme of everything. I will say that there was something that was said in one of my comments on one of the previous Yesterwynde videos, and this is probably gonna piss a few people off, but hey, you all know I always give my honest opinions. I feel like this person had said that they felt like there was a degree to which this album was a little over engineered, and I'm starting to get it. I feel like in some of the places with Nightwish's music, it's always, the engineering has always been fantastic, where you can clearly hear, I like to say you can hear the edges of every different part of the sound. And in this one, I feel like the edges are getting kind of blurry and some things are kind of overlapping and muddling other parts of the music. It's not bad. I am not saying that it's bad. It's not, and maybe this is an intentional thing by Tuomas. Again, I don't know. I feel like Tuomas very rarely in his music that he puts down onto, not on vinyl anymore, but when he lays down tracks, he does them very intentionally. So maybe there's something to that in sort of the engineering of the music that's intentional in what I'm hearing. But it sounds just a little, not a lot, but a little more muddled than other albums, even than Human Nature. So again, I'd be interested to look into that, dive into that, and see what maybe Tuomas has said about it, if anybody's asked him that question, and see if that's something intentional. But so far, really digging the imagery. I'm really struggling to understand what the choir is saying. We'll probably try to take a look at that after the video is over, and maybe some of the lyrics and stuff. Like I said, lyrically, I'm only picking up like the real highlights and things that are flashing on the screen. I can clearly understand what Floor's saying, but I'm really struggling with what the choir is saying when they're singing. But so far, overall, digging the vibe of it. I think I get the overall theme that's going on. So yeah, so far so good. Let's back it up a couple of smidges and we'll keep on going.
It's a long road to a dream world, all the pain and suffering to feel for.
The pain and suffering. Yours is an empty sorrow. That's a lyric from another song, right? I'm thinking yours is an empty hope.
The end is fear. We are
That's a very cool. It looks like that was taken from like a deep space image. Whoop,
A new
da, 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 da.
virus has now been discovered.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's talk about that. All right. So that was Nightwish's The Day of. Um, again, a very there's a very clear musical theme going on here in the composition of the songs. They're all very reminiscent of each other. And that is something that's very, very common for Tuomas. All of his albums, they seem to be thematic. They seem to follow similar chord progressions and things like that. Like I said, this one, the vocals by Floor, there was some space for her to let her voice breathe and kind of do some different things. I really liked just the overall quality of the sound of the song. The use of the child choir, the youth choir in there, another very common thing that Tuomas likes to use. And again, we're getting very similar imagery in all of the videos. So I don't have much more to say in terms of like the content of the song. Probably when I get done with the video, I am going to go maybe check out and see what the lyrics were and what the children's choir was saying when they were singing and things like this. The one image that near the end there that was I want to try to figure out what's going on there was the girl with the rose amongst all the people with the raised fists. I can't quite wrap my mind around what that might have been implying. But still, overall, song-wise, really enjoyed it. Floor's vocals, spot on as always. There was less. This was more. There was more orchestral stuff, less of the like percussion and bass and guitar that I was hearing. I'm sure it was there. It just wasn't as forward in the mix and not as a big a part of the production. But still, like I said, very much liked it. And I'll just say again, I can't wait to get back, get through with the album and be able to hear the whole thing from start to finish, and start to grasp some of the connections that Tuomas is drawing and things like that. So really enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed it out there. For those of you on YouTube, watching on YouTube, if you did, please drop a like, subscribe if you haven't, ring that bell so you get notified when new reactions come out. All of that helps my channel to grow. I definitely appreciate all of you that do spend some of your day watching my videos and taking the time to come watch my videos. I appreciate you all. All right, that'll be it for this one. We will hopefully see you on the next one. Take care. Peace.